Hello. Thank you for tuning in to this week's Stock Talk episode. I gifted some memberships. Don't do it too often, but congrats to the gifted members. If you are new here, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And those gifted members, feel free to ask me any questions, and I will make sure to prioritize them. I'll make a post so that you guys can ask questions there in the members tab. So, guys, we're just going to have a quick live today. And if you're watching from the vertical side, it might be better to come on over to the other side for easier viewing of what I'm sharing. So I'm going to be sharing a little bit about the stock market, my positions that I'm holding, ETFs, but it's not going to be a long one today, guys. Actually, my mom is in the hospital. She's been in the hospital since Tuesday. She had surgery on Thursday, and it's kind of a hectic time right now. Phones ringing and just lots of questions. So, listen, if your portfolio is not thriving right now, something is terribly wrong. Your retirement account, your HSA, wherever you are investing, if it is not thriving, something is terribly wrong. Now, I understand you might have positions that are in energy or healthcare, different sectors, but overall, you should be heavily weighted in a way that you are seeing significant gains in your portfolio. Now, let me take a quick second. Thank you, Vincent, for tuning in. Happy Sunday to you, and thank you for that super chat. Let me see.
Thank you so much. We do greatly appreciate it.
And also, that was for Thriving Glow with Joe, my channel member. Thank you. You are also greatly appreciated for being one of my longest standing channel members. Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate that. So, guys, if I'm just popping on. I had this posted, so I just wanted to come on and do a quick touch base because I really encourage you guys, the ones that enjoy my live streams, I tell you I'm going to be here on 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I wanted to stick to it just for a short update. So this headline right here, this is how we ended the week, April 24th, stock market. The S&P and the NASDAQ hitting record highs. The only reason the Dow was probably, not able to hit it is because they're more into financials and some of those sectors that are not thriving the way that these two indices can, that are led by tech, that are led by Intel, that are led by those semiconductor companies having a higher weighting in them. And so, hello, Nemo. Hello, everyone who's tuned in so far. Thanks for chatting. Make sure to give the live a thumbs up. So, I think I had the heat map. No, here we go. It's over here. So here's a look at the heat map. I don't usually look at the heat map on the weekend, so I'm assuming that it's left off of where we were at the end of the week. And we see, just like in that the news article headline that I was just sharing, Intel up 23.6%. AMD, that's one that I hold, 13.91%. NVIDIA, Taiwan Semi, ARM. So a lot of in this semiconductor space thriving. And then even Microsoft up 2%. Some of the ones that, have kind of been asleep have definitely woken up. And let me see, what did I have pulled here? I was on the phone so much that I didn't really have a chance to get myself caught back up on what I had planned, what tabs I had marked out. Okay, so here we are. So these are two ETFs that I had on this chart. Let me see, 1 month. This is SMH. That holds a lot of those. That holds all of the semiconductor companies. And SPMO, that's a momentum ETF. So those companies that have the strongest momentum, not necessarily only tech. Like, for example, Johnson and Johnson is in the top 10 of that fund. So this is a look. I'm showing you the shorter time frame. Just why I started off the show saying, like, your portfolio should be thriving right now, because over the last month, these two funds. Let's put the S&P in here. We'll put VOO for that example, just to show how things have really started to push up over the last month. SMH is up 29.4%. SPMO is up 14.83%, and then the S&P VOO is up almost 9%. And so year to date, these things have steadily, over the last, since the end of last month, it started to really start to push up. Let me see, let me put on, especially led by those semiconductor companies, as I was saying. Okay. We see here, if we look at most of the investments that I'm talking about, once we got to March 30th, things started to inch up. And this is why, we need to be mindful of what we are invested into. The performance of our 401ks, 403bs, if you are able to make choices there. I know some of these teacher funds, I don't have a full understanding of how they go about it, but we need to be in target date funds, investments, whatever it is. If the market turns around like this, that year to date, we're seeing tech moving up like this. This is semiconductor specifically, but the economy as a whole. Now, this may not last. We're going through so much ups and downs with this, with the war and the back and forth of, is the straits open? Are we at a ceasefire? So we have to be ready for that. But what I'm highlighting is, when the market is down and you know that you've invested into quality investments, you are there to capture the recovery. That's what I'm feeling right now. If it pulls back again, I'm ready for that too. So overall, the semiconductor companies, they are the brains of everything: our phones, our cars, AI servers, medical devices. It's in everything. And so this is SMH is a newer addition to my portfolio that I'm building up. And so is SPMO. These are things that I added into my portfolio in late, I would say around September of 2025, or even SMH was just this year, 2026. So I'll try to make sure to capture that growth now that I feel like I put in the work to have a significant position into the S&P 500, for example. But whether it's in my taxable brokerage accounts or my retirement accounts, I want to lean into funds. I do have individual stocks. I have the whole Mag 7. I have AMD. I have, those individual companies that I definitely wanted to get that extra growth and capture the performance of what they're on track to do in the future. So I have those, but I like simplicity. I like stability. But at the same time, I'm willing to add things like this to balance off what I already have for additional growth, for additional, to catch that momentum of the stocks, things that rebalance for me, that are going to be making sure that I have access to those winners. Now, like I was noting, I don't know if you guys have any of these individual stocks in your portfolio. I pretty much have 3, which are NVIDIA, Taiwan Semi, and AMD. And then after that, I decided to shift over to SMH for additional exposure in this area. But at the same time, I'm trying to have my exposure to Microsoft and Meta. I even have a little bit of Netflix in my portfolio. This is how I'm going about making sure to capture these gains, because putting my money, sitting my money in something like this has been able to have me with gains, some close to 100%, some over 100%. And I share them in my videos. I always make sure to, when as much as possible, as I'm sharing my videos, if it's a company that I'm holding, I share the position. I'm sharing the share sizes so you can get an idea of what my goals are. I'm not a person who likes to have a lot of different positions in my portfolio because I want to build up my share size. I don't want to have one share of this and half a share of that. I want to really be able to capture those gains and reap the rewards when it comes to my portfolio. I want to be on track for retirement, all the things that I'm always talking about. So these chips have really run up. Big tech is running up, and it's lifting the entire market right now. But like I said, I haven't been disappointed in looking at my portfolio from the start, all year. It feels discouraging, but I've been through it before, and I'm knowledgeable enough to know what history has shown us that the stock market was going to turn around, being mindful of earnings. And speaking of earnings, this is a big earnings week. I didn't get a chance to post this. I usually post it to the community wall, but we have right now, it's going to be that time of year where all the Mag 7 is going to be hitting soon. So this week we have Microsoft, we have Amazon, Apple, Meta, Google, we have SoFi, we have Robinhood. So a jam-packed week. And so there's going to be, it causes volatility. And just because these companies have good earnings, it doesn't always mean that the stock price is going to go up. So for you traders out there, be careful, be mindful. And for investors, if it does have a pullback on earnings, whether they're not perfect or if they are and they still were priced in, that people wanted an even better, more spectacular earnings result, then I know what positions I want more exposure to. So I'm going to keep on building, never discouraged, never turned off, because I have seen the power of investing when it comes to what I'm building for myself. So Nora is saying, how will Monday open? Nora, what are your thoughts on that? I think it's still going to be up. I think it's still going to be on in the green, led by those tech companies, but we shall see. But I am much more of an investor than a trader. So I don't stress about, is it a red day or a green day? I focus on my investing. So guys, let me know if you have any questions. I'm just going to take a, Noelle is present. Hello there, Noelle. So guys, I'm just popping on for a quick one today. I was sharing at the beginning of the show that my mom is in the hospital and I just have a lot going on right now. But so I was touching on the things that we've been dealing with, the ceasefire, US and Iran. We don't know what's going to happen. It's going to, what this administration, what they throw out, it really rocks the stock market. Oil prices, I paid, I don't even know what I paid, $4 and maybe 20 cents recently for gas. We're all dealing with it. And I have no idea. I haven't bought any plane tickets recently, but everything is going to be impacted so drastically. How can they say the S&P is reaching all-time highs if everything is down? Everything is not down. Red Star, were you here a minute ago and we had the heat map up? Let's see. Let's go back to it. So yeah, Intel, let me go back to the headline. It literally fueled by Intel, and then we go here and we see Intel's up 24%. So a lot of tech. Microsoft has really Microsoft and AMD really have woken up. I couldn't believe the other day. I couldn't get my head around it. It was like midday. I'm not sure what morning it was, but it was around midday, maybe about 11:30 in the morning. And I was I looked at my phone and I was looking at AMD's price, and AMD was up to $305. Not sure what day it was, as I said. And I couldn't get my head around it for a second. I thought it had dropped back down to 205. No, it went from 270 all the way up to 305. And so I remember I was, making sure to prioritize AMD in my dollar cost averaging and building when it was, 195 to 199 around there. And so, yeah, it just took off so drastically. So you were wild. Are you talking about AMD? No, are you talking about AMD? Yeah. Wow, it sure, yeah. So overall, like I said, I'm going to be here sharing and talking about the stock market because I am Lisa J Stocks, and this is what I came up here to do. And so I'm going to talk about the stock market, whatever it's giving us. I haven't stopped. I've been here during these past few months when things were dreary, when I had to share certain positions because I wanted to let you know what I was building up, and I was in the red. But now one of my newer portfolios, it has 4 things in it. I think I did a recent video showing the whole portfolio. Now I'm starting to see a little bit of gains, but it's not about the short term. Like I said, if I added SMH into my portfolio just this year, and then FSPGX and SPMO, they were just added towards the end, the last quarter of 2025. And so that's a shorter time frame. It's just a few months. So I have to give it time. Those are positions that I'm actually building right now in my retirement account. I think I've gotten up to about 180 shares of SPMO. It's over $130. There was a day not long ago where I picked up 5 shares because I saw a price I liked. It was like $111. So all these investments have really turned around, but I'm ready for the roller coaster ride if it starts to do it again and have me up and down. This is what investing looks like, and this is why I'm focused on what I'm incorporating, and so I can be fearless when it comes to waiting for the recovery. Now, everything is not going to be perfect. Of course, over the last few years, I've made mistakes. And one thing that I wanted to say last week that I didn't get a chance to stress, but I think if you guys have been here before, you already know that one of the reasons, there's so many reasons, but one reason that I always like to highlight of why we all need to have an understanding of our investments, on how to invest, on how to assess what investment is right for you, on the performance, on what is a good fit for you. This world is changing so much, so many layoffs. Most likely we are not going to be like our parents and grandparents unless we're a police officer or got into a certain field where we're more on track to have that locked in longevity of 25 or 30 years in the same company, in the same, industry or whatever. We're changing jobs, whether it's our personal preference or it's layoffs and downsizing and things like that occurring. And so a big way that I've really been able to improve my future outlook when it comes to retirement is taking a handle of my retirement accounts from previous jobs. Don't just think it's there, it's invested, it's, into defaulted into whatever and just let it sit there. Once you're laid off, once you transition, you have more flexibility to take a look at it. once you're not no longer with that company, you might be assessing different fees and things like that. So I want you to be mindful of this and just have your eyes open to these things. If I'm glad that I've gotten it done. And all I can say when it comes to my personal finances, I wish I had just done it sooner, because it is something that is very important, getting a handle of things, and um, not being intimidated by these brokerage companies and thinking they know better. You have to educate yourself and advocate for yourself, and really be on track to build wealth for yourself, for your older self. I was just on the phone with a caseworker from the hospital. I'm seeing more and more hands-on on, these different Medicare plans, and my insurance coverage and co-pays, and none of this stuff is going to go away. As we get older, those bills are still going to be there, and we have to have a way of paying for these things. We have to know how we can manage to stay in our home if we need, additional help and things like that. And it's just something I want us to have our eyes open to. We can't just think that we'll worry about that later, because while we are young and able to work and able to focus on our investing, time is on our side, and so we need to keep on track with what we're doing. Oh, Miss B, thank you for tuning in. Better late than never. Hey, Elevated, thank you for tuning in. Me too, but it took me time to learn. I'm leaving my CFP. Okay, I don't know what CFP is. Noel, it's not clicking with me right now, but I see your comment. Thanks for sharing. Okay, so guys, is there any fund that you want to take a quick look at? I shared a few that I have in my portfolio, but I'm telling you right now, since we looked at something on the chart here, since since March 30th, we saw things start to really push up. Your financial planner. Okay. Let me go back to what you said. Me too, but it took me time to learn. You're leaving your financial planner because she's no longer needed. Yeah. A lot of times they're not needed, and we think that they know better. We think we need to. I've never been in the position where I had a planner, but I was invested into a fund that had a 0.92 or 3% expense ratio, so nearly 1%. There's no situation where I will ever encourage you that I feel that you need to be giving 1% of your entire portfolio to a fund manager. Do as much as you can on your own. Test it out. If you want to do a small portion with a professional, if you need to, test that out for yourself. But really, is the performance of the managed funds with the professionals really gonna outdo what you can do on your own? In my case, I have not seen it, and so I make sure to. You guys joke about it sometimes. I say that I'm a stickler about the expense ratios, like that expense ratio would be too high for stuff, but I'm not paying. I earn this money. I'm trying to grow this money. I'm not trying to lose it to fees unnecessarily. So I did mention a fund today, SPMO. I would say, oh no, SPMO is 0.13%. SMH is, I think, 0.3. So that is a higher expense ratio, but the performance is something that I weighed in making a decision to build into it. And I definitely have more of a larger position in other funds that have a lower expense ratio, but I want to capture that growth. And so I weigh all these things. I do my research. I decide what is the right fit for me. I had someone recently ask me a question asking, Lisa, it was it was SCHD, and I think it was SCHG and SCHD. So one is SCHG is a growth fund, and SCHD is a dividend focused investment. So they asked me, what do I think of those two for them? And I said, this is drastically different. I gave them my spiel that I pretty much have to give every time. This depends on your goals. This depends on your age. This depends on your risk tolerance. I pretty much have both. I don't have SCHG. I'm doing FSPGX, but I have a growth fund and I have some SCHD in my portfolio. But right now, I'm not building into SCHD. I'm not focused on dividends anymore right now. I'm thinking to myself, or I've evaluated my portfolio and decided that I want the growth. I can shift to those more conservative, income focused investments a little bit later on. So I think younger people should buy growth more than dividend funds. Okay. So yeah, Curtis is seeing what I'm saying. I do have realty income. I have Main Street Capital. I would say overall, that one has come down. It's a business development company. So something different. It has come down, but still a steady income. But also I have seen growth when it comes to my portfolio, when it comes to that. So that's the way I'm going about it. You have to do what's right for you. If you are a younger age and think that you should have, a significant amount in SCHD, that's your personal preference. So I told this person that was asking me about those two funds to weigh those things, realize how different the two funds that they were sharing with me were, and decide where they are. Are they in the growth phase or are they in the preservation phase? So they can decide, where do you want to be? Do you want to be heavily weighted into SCHD and more lighter into the growth fund, or should it be the other way around? So Curtis, I don't think Curtis was sharing any funds, was he? Have you considered, did Curtis share funds in the chat? I'm sorry if I missed it. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Curtis, I'm sorry I missed your message if you were asking about QQQM. I'm still not seeing it. But yeah, that's, QQQ and QQQM. You always go with QQQM. It has a lower expense ratio, the same exposure that you're going to get. So when it comes to those investments, QQQ and the SPY, those are for trading, not investing, because there's no reason to pay that higher fee. But this is not financial advice. I am sharing my personal journey and everything that I have learned along the way here. Do you think of Rocket Labs? I can't say that that's one that I've looked at in real detail, Nora. I'm like I said, more of an investor than a trader, more into large cap than penny stocks. And so I really have been focused on Microsoft, AMD, Meta, things like that right now. That, like Rocket Labs, sounds like something I would probably have to have on my stop loss and be treating, being very mindful of with as far as a trade. Let me see if I can pull it up. Do you know the ticker on that by any chance, Nora? I'm not finding it. What am I doing wrong? Rocket Labs. Let me see. It's in the 80s now, true. Nora, do you have the ticker for the Rocket Labs? I don't know what I'm doing. Rocket Labs. Guys, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I can't seem to pull it up. But if I remember, I can reply to that. Maybe there's no S. Maybe there's no S. Maybe that's why I can't find it. Yes, that's what's wrong. RKLB. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. It's on the watch. It's on the watch list, not financial advice. It's on Nora's watch list. All right. So I'm going to put it, I have it here on Google Finance. Let me see, in 30 minutes. I found it. Okay, so on the, let's see, how's it doing here to date? Well, it moved on after March 30th. It moved up like everything else, but it came down at the end of the week. Did it come down to give Nora a chance to do whatever she's planning? So the PE is at a loss. I'm not liking that so far. Let's see. I was taking a look at the PE and the forward PE on it. Let's see what the analyst ratings are looking like. So it's at 80. Average price target is 91 to 120. Yeah, so this is something that I probably would not, this would be, if anything, if you saw an opportunity for a trade, this would definitely be trade status for me. I don't trade shares that often, so I probably, if I have money today to put into the market, I would probably just put it into buying more of my Microsoft or something like that if I got a good price, as opposed to trading Rocket Labs. I definitely don't like that the guidance on it is looking like it's currently at a loss, but this is just my personal preference. I'm sticking to more of the mega cap companies than this, but there is a potential at the price that it is for it to go up to the 120 price mark. So price target. So it could work out for you if you make sure to get it at a good price point and then hold. I don't know what your average is on it if you're holding shares or anything, Nora. But this is one. Have your stop loss on, have a plan on how you're going to navigate it. Because yeah, some investments, I'll share one. I'm going to probably talk about it in an upcoming video. This is ChargePoint. This is ChargePoint over the last 5 years. It's down 98.6%. So basically, you put your money in ChargePoint, it would have gone to nothing. So you can't put your money into any and every investment with the thought process that it's going to move like the market has moved, similar to this, going from the lowest point year to date on April 30th, and then moving up. This is pretty much the way that everything will look if we take a look at it. Let's see. This is Meta. You see, March 27th. If I said April, I meant March 30th a second ago, guys. So the same thing, March 27th, and then moving up. So everyone's portfolio should be looking great drastically different than it did 3 weeks ago if you're looking. So, Curtis, you're not alone. You are not alone, Curtis. I'm going to get into that. I'm going to share my story on that ChargePoint. It did it to me too. Life with Marlene. Thank you for tuning in. So guys, I will be live on Friday this week. Not sure of the date, but I will be live with Marlene. We'll be doing our Finance Friday episode. And so make sure you have your notification bell on. I will put it up soon so that you can even hit it and have it in your alerts. It's going to be probably a lunchtime live. So if you can't be there, if you're at work or busy that time of day, make sure to catch the replay. Oh, so yes, you don't want to be stuck. I won't even call it diamond handing. When it goes down to that, it's pretty much, dead. We don't want to be holding investments like that. So if you are going to get into something that is speculative, we have the features. I'm not discouraging you from trading lower cap stocks. But I want you to be mindful. I want us to be successful. I want you to have a substantial amount of your portfolio into the things that are thriving, and then you can try a smaller allocation into something like that with your stop loss on. See if you're able to navigate it in a way and make money. Don't keep on doing it and not making money. Don't keep on focusing on that and not putting money into the S&P or, a NASDAQ investment or VUG, all these different investments that we have seen. They've proven to us, we've seen the history on what they can do. And funds, they rebalance for us. So if things change, they're going to shift. They're going to have us on track to have exposure to those best quality companies, always. All right, bag holding, LOL. None of that. All right, so guys, let me know if you have any questions. I just wanted to pop on because I had this already posted, but it's a little hectic for me right now. But be on the lookout for my videos, of course, my live streams. Feel free to ask me any questions. Congrats to the gifted members. I started off the show today gifting memberships. So I'll put up a community post for the current and older members to drop me any questions that they have. Yes, things are going to turn out okay for Mom. I was hoping that she was going to be able to come home today, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. She might have to. She had surgery on Thursday, so might have to just take it a little slower, maybe some days at a rehab. But thank you guys for the well wishes. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you for being here. And I'm glad that I was able to make a little bit of time to pop on. Make sure to leave me any comments, questions, suggestions for future live streams. I appreciate it. And any of my videos, shorts, anything that you see, make sure to leave me a comment, drop some emojis, some type of reaction. Let me know you were there, especially if you are a content creator. But even if you're not, so that I can know you're there, know who are the real, true supporters of the channel. And I will see you soon. I will be putting out videos. Like I said, I should be back live on Friday this week. And, I try to put out videos as frequently as possible. I don't have a set schedule, but you guys know, I try to keep up with always sharing. So I will see you soon. Thanks for watching.
And to investments, she make a lot on YouTube. Lisa J Stocks. Lisa J Stocks, that's the channel. Hey. If you wanna make some money, visit Lisa J Stocks. Yeah. You will make a lot. If you wanna make some money,